Verse 25 infers that the private meeting between David and his adversaries set the stage for major trials. What made David perceive that he was being tried by this event? Why did he beckon Allah for protection? The Abdullah Yusuf Ali translation, which happens to be the Holy Quran that I have here. Verses 24 and 25 of this account states, "And David gathered that we had tried him. He asked forgiveness of his Lord, fell down bowing in prostration, and turned to Allah in repentance. So we forgave him this lapse. He enjoyed indeed a near approach to us in a beautiful place of final return." Now, lapse is used in verse 25, and it means a slight miscalculation of the circumstances. That's one definition. It does not denote sin, unrighteousness, or rebellion against God. Allah makes this clear with the phrase, "He enjoyed indeed a near approach to us." Well, what was this lapse on David's part? David got involved with the two litigants, perhaps against his better judgment. This is denoted in the fact that David feared them. This meant that he was not completely unmindful of their ill motives. Notwithstanding, he was tenderhearted and believed people at their word. This disposition made him vulnerable to the evil schemes and tricks they had in their hearts. So this sheds light on the heart of divine messengers, especially the heart of the Messiah, the Honorable Louis Farrakhan. Because he is made to deliver Allah's guidance and warning, he does not incline towards suspicion of others. In fact, Allah requires people to avoid suspicion. He calls it a sin in most cases because when you're suspicious of a person, you have already made a judgment against them before engaging with them on any subject. So you can't go into that particular discourse with them with a sincere heart because you have distrust for them from the outset. Now, the Honorable Louis Farrakhan's heart is filled with compassion and therefore open to serving the people in ways that enable him to teach the people the divine message. Now, of course, a messenger of God knows that everything will work to the glory of God. So that's one reason why he's not anchored down with suspicion, because God is guiding him. But Allah yet requires him to be mindful that he is hated by the satanic leaders of those under their guidance or those under their influence. It states in the Holy Quran, "And when thou seest them, their persons please thee, and if they speak, thou listenest to their speech. They are like pieces of wood clad with garments. They think every cry to be against them. They are the enemy, so beware of them. May Allah destroy them, how they are turned back." So this indicates that such persons would turn against the Messiah. Now, Allah elsewhere in the Holy Quran indicates that he knows who they are, even though his messenger doesn't. So this is why the Honorable Louis Farrakhan's compassion is a means through which his enemies, disbelievers and hypocrites, mount their attacks against him. But Allah has formed his heart to ensure that specific prophecies are fulfilled. The prophecy of the two litigants happens to be one that must be fulfilled. Now, what did the adversaries plan to accuse David of doing or saying after their so-called private meeting with him in the private chamber? The answer is born of the type of adversaries that climb the wall to gain access to him. They can falsely accuse him of all types of deviant and unethical behavior. Fortunately, we have the Honorable Louis Farrakhan's words in works to nullify false testimonies made against him. This is why it states in the Gospel of Mark regarding false witnesses, "For many bear false witness against him," meaning Jesus, "but their witness agreed not together." This informs us that we will be able to detect the contradictions, the confusion, and the falsehoods coming through the mass news media in its epic attack against the Honorable Louis Farrakhan.